The festival night felt different, like the entire school had transformed into something magical. Fairy lights hung from every building. Music drifted through the evening air. Students laughed, took pictures, created memories. The kind of memories people carried forever. The kind that hurt years later, because they never knew they were living them. YN stood in front of her bedroom mirror, staring, then staring harder, then immediately regretting it. Why am I nervous? Her reflection didn't answer. Rude, very rude, because nervous wasn't normal. She'd attended school festivals before, lots of them. She'd never cared, never spent 30 minutes choosing a dress, never changed her outfit 3 times, never stood in front of a mirror wondering if someone specific would like how she looked. Someone very specific, someone annoyingly tall, someone who read books for fun, someone named Kim Taehyung. YN immediately grabbed a pillow and screamed into it. This was embarrassing. Meanwhile, Taehyung was suffering too, just differently, because Jimin had been staring at him for 20 minutes, without blinking, without shame, without mercy. What? Jimin grinned. You've changed shirts 4 times. Taehyung froze. I have not. You absolutely have. No. You absolutely have. A pause. Then you're nervous. I'm not. You are. I'm not. You're going to see YN. Silence. Jimin pointed dramatically. There it is. Taehyung hated everything. The festival officially began at 6. Students flooded the campus. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Lights reflected in every window. Food stalls filled the air with sweet smells. Laughter echoed everywhere. It was beautiful and chaotic, exactly the way YN liked things. Unfortunately, the second she arrived, she spotted Mina, then spotted Taehyung beside her, and suddenly, the beautiful atmosphere became slightly less beautiful. Interesting. Very interesting. Across the courtyard, Taehyung looked up and forgot how to breathe. Because YN had arrived, wearing a simple white dress. Nothing flashy, nothing dramatic. Yet somehow she looked breathtaking. The lights reflected in her eyes. The evening breeze moved gently through her hair. And for one terrifying second, the entire festival disappeared. Gone. Nothing existed except her. The realization hit like a truck. A very large truck. A truck carrying feelings. Many feelings. Dangerous feelings. You're staring. Jimin's voice. Taehyung nearly jumped. What? Close your mouth. Taehyung immediately did. Jimin looked delighted. Entirely too delighted. YN spotted him a second later. Their eyes met, and suddenly, everything became weird. Not bad weird, just different. Because now, they knew. Not officially, not out loud, but they knew. The rooftop conversation had changed everything. Now every glance felt heavier. Every smile felt dangerous. Every heartbeat felt suspicious. Neither knew how to act normal anymore, which would have been funny if it wasn't so terrifying. The football player appeared first. Of course he did. Hey! YN smiled politely. Hey! You look nice. Thank you. Across the courtyard, Taehyung immediately regretted having eyes, because now he had to watch this wonderful, fantastic, amazing, a personal attack. At almost the exact same moment, Mina appeared beside him, smiling, bright, beautiful, kind, everything she should have liked. Yet, from across the festival, YN suddenly hated her again, for absolutely no reason, obviously. The universe enjoyed suffering. That became very clear, because for the next hour, they kept getting separated. Every time YN looked for Taehyung, he was busy. Every time Taehyung found YN, someone interrupted. a teacher, a classmate, a friend, fate itself. Nobody knew. All they knew was frustration, growing slowly, relentlessly. Then came the fireworks announcement. Students immediately rushed toward the sports field. Excited voices filled the campus. Everyone wanted a good view. Everyone except YN. Because she was tired. Emotionally, mentally, romantically. All of it. So she slipped away. Toward the fountain. The same fountain where she'd once laughed with Taehyung months ago. The same fountain where everything had started changing. The campus felt quieter here. The distant sounds of students faded. Only the water remained. The night air felt cool against her skin. For the first time all evening she could think. Unfortunately, thinking meant one thing. Kim Taehyung. Always Kim Taehyung. His laugh. His smile. The way he looked at her sometimes. The way he always noticed when something was wrong. The way he remembered tiny details nobody else remembered. The way she searched for him in every room without realizing it. The way losing his attention suddenly hurt. The way seeing him with Mina felt unbearable. And finally, the truth she'd been avoiding. Oh no, the realization landed all at once. Hard, brutal, unavoidable. Oh no, because she knew, finally, completely, without excuses, without denial, without anywhere left to run. She was in love with him. That's usually not a good reaction. Why? And froze. Her heart stopped, then restarted, faster, much faster. She turned, and there he was. Kim Taehyung, standing beneath the festival lights, hands in his pockets, watching her, only her. And suddenly, she couldn't remember how breathing worked. For a moment, neither moved. The fountain splashed softly beside them. Distant fireworks preparation echoed from the field. The night air felt too warm, too quiet, too everything. Then Taehyung smiled. Small, nervous, real, and somehow, that made things worse. Because Kim Taehyung was never nervous, yet here he was, looking exactly how she felt. Terrified. Everyone's looking for you. His voice came out softer than usual. YN laughed nervously. Everyone's looking for you too. Probably. Neither moved, neither left. Because neither actually wanted to. The silence stretched. Not awkward, not uncomfortable, just full. Full of everything neither knew how to say. Then the first firework exploded. A burst of color lit the night sky. Red, gold, silver, beautiful. Students cheered somewhere in the distance, but neither looked away. Not from each other. Taehyung swallowed. His heartbeat was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because this was YN, just YN, his best friend, the girl who stole footballs, the girl who ruined every quiet moment, the girl who somehow became the most important part of his day. And suddenly, the thought of not telling her felt impossible. Terrifying, but impossible. YN. Her name sounded different, more serious, more vulnerable. And immediately, her heart began racing, because she knew. She knew what was happening. She knew what was coming. And somehow that scared her more than anything. Another firework exploded. Bright light danced across their faces. Neither noticed. Because for the first time, there was nothing else. Just him. Just her. Just this moment. The moment that would change everything. And neither could look away. For the first time there was nothing else. Just him. Just her. Just this moment. The moment that would change everything. And neither could look away. YN. The way he said her name made her heart ache. Soft. Careful. Like it mattered. Like she mattered. And maybe that was why she couldn't speak. Couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Because suddenly, Everything she'd been avoiding was standing right in front of her, looking at her with those eyes, those stupid, beautiful eyes. The same eyes she'd accidentally complimented months ago. The same eyes she'd started searching for in crowded hallways. The same eyes she'd fallen in love with. Without realizing it, without permission, without any chance of escape, Taehyung's heartbeat was so loud he was convinced she could hear it. He'd rehearsed this, not officially, not in front of a mirror, not out loud, but in his head, hundreds of times. During classes, while reading, walking home, lying awake at night. Every version ended differently. Some ended with her smiling, some ended with her laughing, some ended with him making a complete fool of himself. All of them terrified him. But none terrified him more than staying silent, because silence meant losing the chance, and the thought of losing her hurt more than rejection ever could. The fountain continued splashing beside them. Fireworks painted the sky. Students cheered somewhere far away. The world kept moving. Yet somehow this little corner of the campus felt frozen in time. Taehyung took a step forward. Just one. YN's breath caught. A dangerous mistake. Because now he was closer. Close enough to see every emotion she was trying to hide. Close enough to notice the nervous way she twisted her fingers together. Close enough to notice she looked just as terrified as he felt. And somehow that gave him courage. Just enough, you know? His voice cracked slightly. Immediately. Wonderful. Fantastic. A great start. YN smiled despite herself. The sight made his stomach flip. You give terrible speeches. Taehyung laughed, a nervous laugh. The kind she'd never heard before. Because Kim Taehyung wasn't nervous around people. Yet here he was, looking completely vulnerable. And somehow, that made her want to cry. A little. You changed everything. The words escaped before he could stop them. Both froze. Because suddenly, this was real. Very real. No taking it back. No pretending. No hiding. Taehyung swallowed, then continued, You know that. YN couldn't answer, because tears were already gathering in her eyes, and she hated crying, especially now. When I first met you, a small smile appeared on his face. You crashed into me. YN laughed through her tears. Technically you blamed me. Survival. You stole a football. Borrowed. There it is. The familiar joke settled between them. Comfortable. Safe. Like home. Then his smile softened. And suddenly, the teasing disappeared. Leaving only honesty behind. I thought you were impossible. Why? And gasped dramatically. I am offended. You should be. I saved your life. It was a dictionary. It was huge. It wasn't. It could have killed you. Taehyung shook his head, still smiling, still looking at her like she was the only person in the world. Then, his expression changed, just slightly. Enough. I thought you were impossible. His voice grew quieter, but then, he looked away briefly, almost embarrassed, almost shy, and somehow that made her love him even more. You became my favorite part of the day. Silence. The confession landed softly. Yet somehow it shattered everything. Every wall. Every doubt. Every fear. YN stopped breathing. Because nobody had ever said something like that to her before. Not like this. Not honestly. Not while looking at her as if she hung every star in the sky. Taehyung laughed softly. Nervously. I'd wake up wondering what trouble you'd cause. YN smiled through her tears. I caused a lot. You did? You hated it. I didn't. The answer came instantly, without hesitation, without thought. Because it was true. Completely true. I loved it. Her heart broke, then healed, then broke again. All at once another firework exploded above them. Gold light filled the night. Neither noticed, because neither could look away. Not now. Not after this. I tried not to. His voice lowered. More vulnerable now. More honest. I really tried not to. YN's eyes filled completely. Because she knew. She knew exactly what he meant. Because she'd tried to, failed to, fallen to. But every time something happened, he smiled softly. I wanted to tell you first. The tears escaped, rolling down her cheeks, warm, unstoppable. When something good happened, his voice cracked. I looked for you. Another step, closer, closer, dangerously close. And when something bad happened, his eyes never left hers. You were the person I wanted beside me. The world disappeared. Everything disappeared. The fountain, the fireworks, the students, the school, all gone, leaving only this. Only him, only the truth. YN. His voice barely rose above a whisper, yet somehow, it felt louder than every firework in the sky. And suddenly, she couldn't stay silent anymore. Not another second. Not after months of pretending. Not after all this. I love you. The words escaped before she could stop them. Taehyung froze. Completely, the world froze with him. YN immediately covered her mouth. Horrified, mortified, destroyed. Oh my God. She'd done it. She'd ruined everything. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.